Joe here with the RideShare Guy, and today we're going to go over the 5 main factors when accepting upfront fares. I have been driving with upfront fares here in Minneapolis for about 6 months now, and there's a lot of information on the upfront fare screen, and you have to process this information in seconds before you accept these rides. Now, as far as the pieces of information, the main thing to look at is the fare itself. There's also the pickup location, the distance in time and mileage, the cross streets, and then there's also the expected duration of the trip and mileage, and then the cross streets for the drop-off location and the city. So you're not shown the actual destination address, you're just shown cross streets and the city. Now, of course, the first main factor that I've gotten used to looking at first is the fare. How much is the fare worth? And I've actually had to do some math on my end, comparing the old time and distance rates to what a fare should be worth under the upfront model. So I'll look at that fare, I'll look at the mileage, the expected duration of the trip, and I have to do that calculation in my head. Basically match those numbers. You know, if it's 9 miles and the ride is worth $9, I typically accept those. But about 90% of the time when I'm looking at these upfront fares, that is my main calculation. That is the main thing I'm looking at, $1 per mile. And this could be different in your particular market depending upon what time and distance rates were before upfront fares. You'll kind of want to make that calculation. All right, now the second main factor is distance to pickup. If that distance to pickup is too far away, but the ride is paying $1 per mile, I will not accept those rides. Just like with time and distance, my pickup distance my threshold was about 2 miles away. If a ride was more than 2 miles away, I wouldn't accept it. That's the same under the time and distance model. If those rides are again paying that $1 per mile, that is my requirement, but it's 3, 4, 5 miles away, I won't accept those. But Uber is paying for pickup distance on some of these rides now. There will be times where a request is 3 miles away, 4 miles away, and the actual on-trip mileage is about 4 miles. That ride may pay out $8, $9, $10. If I'm getting paid for that pickup distance, I will accept those rides. Also, if there's a shorter distance to pick up, say the pickup is a half mile away or even just a few blocks away, I will sometimes not use that $1 per mile requirement that I have. Even if that ride is paying, say, 75 cents per mile for on-trip mileage and it's not too long of a ride, I will accept those because I'm not having to eat so much pickup distance mileage. The third main factor is the location of the destination. And again, when you on those upfront fares, you see the cross streets and the city. So you're not given the actual address, you're not shown on the map where it is, you just kind of have to know by those cross streets and the city. And a lot of the times, especially since longer rides are paying less, if a ride's gonna bring me way out into the suburbs, I will decline those rides immediately. Even if the ride is paying really well, if you're gonna get stuck out in the suburbs, or possibly even your next pickup's gonna have to be 10, 15 miles away, it may not be worth it for that fare. For me personally, I'm filtering out a lot of the longer distance rides. They're not paying as well as they did under the time and distance model. If you're gonna end up way out in the suburbs, you don't have to accept those rides anymore. All right, and the fourth main factor is what the trip accomplishes. Say you're at the end of your day, you're in destination mode, you're far away from your destination, but you get a ride that brings you almost right to where your destination is, and say, for me personally, it's paying 75 cents per mile. It doesn't meet that $1 per mile requirement. It's still helping me accomplish my goal really quickly by using destination mode, getting me back towards my destination, that I may accept those because it's accomplishing what I want in one ride. All right, and the final main factor is the time of day. Say it's during rush hour period, 4 to 6 p.m., and you're trying to achieve a quest bonus more efficiently, it's best to just accept shorter requests. And again, this will help you achieve your quest bonuses more efficiently. And piggybacking on those short rides, I've noticed that downtown areas, if you want to just hover around a downtown area and give a bunch of short rides, those rides pay out more per mile typically, those downtown pickups, than out in the suburbs or lesser dense areas. There have been times where I have implemented this strategy. Say I'm downtown, not even during a rush hour period, just downtown in general, and I just want to knock out a bunch of rides, and sometimes I'll just hover around a downtown, make sure that duration of trip is not longer than, say, a mile or 5, 6, 7 minutes. So those are my 5 main factors. Again, the main thing is that fare. If the fare is paying $1 per mile on trip mileage to the destination, I will accept those rides, and that's how I accept about 85 to 90% of the upfront fares that I see. My acceptance rate is hovering right around 50%, so I'm accepting 1 out of every 2 rides. So Uber is going to need to iron their algorithm out. I think they're going to have to improve that upfront fare screen too. They could show the actual destination that the rider is going to, where it's located on the map. It would be nice to have that information, but overall it's great to have all this information up front now. It gives me much more control when driving. Thanks again for watching. Please like, comment, or subscribe and drive safe. Thanks.